I've been living out of my car for a couple months.
Surprisingly, the worst thing about living in your car and having to deal with is the temperature.
This is a day in the life of a 25-year-old who lives in a car with his wife.
Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm overpaying rent. I'm so sick of paying rent. Like, you know what? I could just live in my car.
I love and hate that Americans are so radically optimistic in the society, because it's like at this point, bro, if you're not optimistic and if you don't have a little bit of hope for the future or for where your life is going, bro, it's like you might as well just blow your shit clean off, bro. In 2026, Americans living in their cars isn't some kind of tragedy anymore. It's a preview of what's to come. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then good, because you're supposed to be uncomfortable about this. This is happening to people who did exactly what they were supposed to do in a society. This isn't happening to just any person that just gave up on their life. These people go to work, they pay their bills, they didn't even ruin their lives for real. They just got priced out of living in an apartment or a house. And rent didn't even creep up on them. It exploded right in their faces. Wages didn't fall behind. They were literally just left behind. And housing didn't become shelter. It became a casino for investors. So now we got teachers out here sleeping in Toyotas, nurses changing clothes in parking lots, and warehouse workers clocking in after spending the night in the driver's seat of a, Corolla in the parking lot of Amazon. This isn't a housing issue, I believe. This is literally a system failure, because when you have average American citizens living in their cars, making content on this stuff, trying to make it look like some kind of aesthetic, trying to make it look comfortable, they're trying to be very optimistic in a sense of hey, we're just combating the system. We're doing this to save money, or we're doing this to, have location freedom. It shouldn't get to the point of where you have to live in your car to do that. This isn't a thriving society. This is a clear example of society falling apart. And living in your car is the new working class housing strategy nowadays. No one talks about this because you were told to budget better while rent eats up 60% of your paycheck, and you were told to work harder in an economy to where your full time doesn't even buy you full shelter nowadays. And you were told to move somewhere cheaper, as if cheaper still exists. It makes no sense to me to how you can't move into an apartment that costs maybe $1,000 a month because you make quote unquote too much money. Have you guys ever heard of that? Because I have. That makes no sense. They literally don't want you to win, bro. I feel like this is gaslighting at a national scale. It's crazy to me, because we've normalized a country where the punishment for being broke is being visible, and the reward for being rich is owning the very thing that everyone else is desperate to survive inside of. And the scariest part is that this is being sold to you as resilience. Oh, look how adaptable people are. No, this is not resilience. They're literally being evicted into it. They have no other choice but to live in their cars. This isn't the resilience. This is us trying to make the most of a situation. This is literally desperation with a motivational quote slapped on it, okay? People aren't quote unquote choosing to live this van life, lifestyle, right? They're literally being forced into it. And we've decided that as long as it fits in a parking space, then it's not really a crisis. But here's the truth, right? If your life falls apart when your rent goes up $400, your life wasn't fragile, the system was. And if you think that this can't happen to you, you're not safe. This could happen to me, this could happen to you, this could happen to anybody out here. We're just earlier in the timeline of all this, In 2026, the distance between being in a house and being in a car as shelter is thinner than it has ever been before. Not morally, but systematically, or even financially. This isn't about pity either. This is about recognition, because the people living in their cars aren't some separate class of human. They are a early warning system to what we have to look forward to in this society.
Rent is going up almost $300 a month, okay? I'm confused. I'm lost, dumbfounded. Everywhere in my city, everybody going up in apartments, okay? These are just one bedrooms. I pay $1,100 a month for one bedroom right now. If I resign my lease, it'd be $1,300, okay? Not including maintenance fees, not including all the utilities and all that stuff. When it's all said and done, I'll be spending $1,600, $1,700 to live there, okay? When it's all said and done. My thing is, what do these landlords think we're making out here? Okay? Everybody not making all that kind of money like this. I'm a truck driver. As you can see, I'm in the truck right now. Truck drivers don't get raises, okay? We don't get raises. I barely made enough to make 3 times the rent already. But now it's just going up. I don't know what's gonna happen. I make $4 grand a month. I don't know. Well, I make that, but after taxes and all that, you know how that goes. It's about 36, something like that. I won't be able to afford that place anymore where I live at right now. So I gotta move. I'm probably considering living in my truck, maybe. Might get a hotel rooms on weekends. If I get a hotels on weekends, I spend $580 a month just for Saturdays and Sundays. That saved me a lot of money, over $1,000 a month, just doing that. Cause I'm gone most of the time anyway. But my big concern is, I don't know where these landlords, how they think we out here making all this money to raise the rent that high. We got layoffs going on, and the federal workers are getting laid off, and it just, things gotta change, you know. I just I refuse to pay that much for 1 bedroom. So I'm not doing that. I've been looking around my city. A lot of folks moving in the city, so I guess, you know, supply and demand is what raised the prices up. But I've been in my city my whole life, and they trying to push us out. I'd rather be straightforward and say that we're gonna push everyone that's a native of this city, who's born and raised here. We're gonna push y'all out and want everybody to come in here as they raise prices. I'd rather be straightforward and just say that, okay, than just raising prices and we just all confused. All right. I mean, it's just crazy to me. But I probably might live in my truck, get hotel rooms on the weekends, save a lot of money that way. Cause this year I'm trying to save 20 grand. And a lot of folks can't save 1 grand because you got all the bills, and like I said, rent prices are going up and food prices going up, clothes, everything's going up in America right now. Okay, there's no relief anywhere, it seems like. They don't think it'll be a relief anytime soon. So I gotta be prepared, trying to save some money up, because money is king, and I gotta make it happen. What you gotta think about this? This is getting insane. I mean, something gotta give. It really do.
And living in your car has its days. It has its moments. At one point, you feel all liberated and free. You know, it's not that bad. But the next, I don't know. It's just like, damn, I miss my bed. I hate waking up every morning and my ankles look like watermelons. I've never seen my ankles look like this before. Like, it's hot. It's a little hotter today. And I don't know, I just wish I had a home with some AC and a couch and a bed so I could bed rot today. I would never take my stability for granted ever again. Ever again. If I have to get 3 jobs, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, because this is not a joke. This is not fun at all. My cousin just bought me some food. I guess I feel better now.
Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm overpaying rent. I'm so sick of paying rent. Every beginning of the month, I just be like, oh my God, I gotta pay this again. Then I be like, you know what? I could just live in my car. I'm always in my car anyway. I might as well just live in my car. I got a TV hookup in my car, like my monitor. I can hook up something and watch TV on it. So I can just live in my car. I can just get a membership at Planet Fitness, take showers there. I don't want to even rent no more. I got a nice place, but you know what? I'm over it. I'm just, y'all can have it. I don't even want it no more. I'm just tired of paying these people every month. Even if it was a mortgage, which I don't want to own no home. You know, that's just not my thing. But even if it was a mortgage, I'd just be tired. I'm over it. I just want to keep my money in my pocket. I need my car because I got places to go. But I don't want to rent no more, man. And I know it ain't just me, you know. But I ain't one of these dudes that can just find a girl and live off of her. I can't do that. I just live in my car.
Homeless and sleeping in the car. Me and my 5 children.
I think the hardest thing about living in my car has to be, you know, letting people know that I have nowhere else to go. They'll ask me questions like, you don't have a single family member you can turn to. And I would say things like, my aunt is a registered nurse and she lied about giving me medication that would have saved my life, that would have kept me inside the house. And then I had another cousin, after I was aunt's planned negligence, tell another cousin to watch out for me because I'm crazy. Don't hang around her because she's crazy. And then I had that cousin only hang around me to be an informant on what was going on to see if I was actually crazy or not. To only have her boyfriend's friend try to make a sexual advance towards me, and then when I made a big deal about it, then it was a big deal, and all of a sudden she was no longer a cool cousin towards me. So she was never a cool cousin towards me from the beginning. She was just an informant. She just wanted to be close enough so she could have a relevant information to go back and report to everybody on how I act. My family has not shown that I am safe around them in any capacity. So I stay in my car because I'm trying so hard to get on my own 2 feet, but it is extremely difficult to do. With the diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder and the legal inability to get a job. I am 35 years old and I received Social Security. I can no longer work. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. My feet are swelling up again and I am running out of money. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I have food and shelter today, so I'm just gonna keep showing up. So I apologize if I'm not in the best mood. I am struggling really bad.
I think that people are embarrassed about being homeless, but I look at it from an energy perspective, right? When I had that house, I had all of these bills right here. I'm gonna sit them up here, you know what I'm saying? And they all were fluctuating, you know what I'm saying, in between 200 and 350. You feel me? And it's like me being by myself, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't handle it all, you feel me? And the people that I had in the house with me, they handled their part partially, you know what I'm saying? But the stress that the management company put on us, making us pay more money, extra money, for 3 months, had me paying an extra $550. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was actually it was $450. That was just too much. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm, not having to pay all that, I got a car that I own. I don't pay a note. It's in my name. I just got car insurance. My car insurance, I went all the way down to liability to the point where my car insurance is like $70 now. You know what I'm saying? I got a phone bill. My phone is with Cricket. You feel me? My phone bill is $50, So really, that's all the bills I got. And, I'm getting my CDL was taken from me when I had a car accident. You can see down in my post that I had a car accident in my BMW. And I almost died. But in that situation, I learned that I had been driving without a CDL for the longest, because when I moved to Indiana and got an ID, they surrendered my Georgia CDL license. So I didn't even know I was driving without a CDL until I got into that car accident and got a ticket for not having a license. I'm sorry, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I had never even thought that would be a thing, to just get an ID and they surrender your license without telling you. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I guess I just wasn't aware of that process. And so currently, that happened last year. It happened around May. That happened around May. I lost my CDL around May. Well, I realized I hadn't had one in May last year. And now I'm back in Indiana. I couldn't get my CDL because I had moved to Georgia right after I got into that accident. And when I tried to get my CDL back in Georgia, they was telling me that, oh yeah, your CDL was surrendered, in Indiana. And I'm like, why was that? And then they told me everything that happened, and then I realized that I didn't have one, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh man, so how do I get my CDL back? And in Georgia, they was telling me that I had to just do everything all over. So I'm like, I gotta do everything all over? Like, what you mean? I drove literally for a whole year for Prime and got paid, crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Literally crumbs. I made $86,000 for those people, and I only got paid 16 bands of that money. You feel me? Like, so that's why I'm like, and then I kept working throughout that. I quit Prime. Well, actually, we just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? We decided to part ways. So I didn't quit. They didn't want me. I didn't want to be there. So we decided to part ways. And you know, I started working for Hirschbach, and then I started working for AWH out here in Indiana. And AWH started paying me $16.50 a fucking week. So I started stacking bread, you know what I'm saying? And then my brother got popped. I used half of that money, you know what I'm saying? I had just saved my first 10K, like working a job, because I was a guy that grew up in a family of people who never worked. I was in a efficiency with 15 people. None of them got up to go to work. They were all on food stamps and TANF and everything else, you know what I'm saying? And we had no men around. They bullied our men out the house, out the project, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't live there because, you know, it was just a place for mamas with kids. So, you know how they did. They took our people and scrambled them up and made sure that we wasn't a family, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, after watching my family not have any knowledge of self and knowledge of life and knowledge of these systems that we got up, that we're up under, it made me realize that, you know what, I don't want a house. I don't want all of these bills because they stealing all of my money. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go to work and I make money, they steal it all. You know what I'm saying? They charging me extra money for certain bills and stuff that I didn't really have, like the gas bill. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. But literally, these people put an eviction notice, tried to put an eviction on me in the last month after I put in a promise to pay. Yo, they always did the same promise to pay. If I didn't pay it on the 1st, I would pay it on the 15th. If not the 15th, it would be the 17th. This was always done. You know what I'm saying? Because they had me paying $450 extra. You know, so my shit was coming up late every time. So I'm dealing with all of those at the same time, and I'm like, yo, I would rather be living in my car right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be honest, I'm good. I'm at a truck stop. You feel me? I'm a truck driver. I always drive trucks. I'm used to doing this. This ain't nothing. Only thing that I'm really worried about is my girl. You know, she, you know.
I'm 23 and I live in my car. The only reason I live in my car is because I used to live with my parents. I just couldn't afford rent anymore. So I decided to move out. And my idea was, what if I live in the car and save up, because I have a lot of debts. I have a credit card debt, and then I have my taxes. So I gotta pay that shit or I'm gonna go to jail. So I decided to sleep in my car to save up. And I'm also going to college full-time this fall semester, so I gotta save up for that as well. My brother is letting me stay at his place, and I usually sleep in his driveway, and I'm also able to cook there, so I kind of save money. And so I just pack everything the night before, and I just have everything ready when I wake up and I'm ready for the day. I usually side hustle, and I usually make $170 a day when I do Amazon, but lately I'm not getting any orders, so I'm just doing DoorDash. This is me getting gas because, guys, gas is so expensive. Like, I'm dead. Anyways, and I also babysit tonight, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.
So I see so many people that are living in their car. I used to pick up at Panera Bread every morning. I would go in there. I would get out to work at like 6 a.m. doing DoorDash, and I would see the same car in the parking lot every single morning. And this person, they would sit in the parking lot all day, and you could see their stuff in their car. And clearly this person was homeless, living in their car. There are so many people who live in their cars. Even like Walmart parking lots, you'll see the same cars there all day, and it's very, very sad, but you know, that's just what people have to do because they don't have the money to afford this high rent. That is an issue. Nobody should have to live in their cars just because they can't afford rent. It's just not the way to live.
This is a day in the life of a 25-year-old who lives in a car with his wife. We both had work today, so we got up and started our morning routine by taking our window covers down, moving all of our bags around, and brushing our teeth. I dropped Kayla off at work, and then I drove to my job. We both had the same hours today, so I picked up Kayla from work for our lunch break, and we first stopped at a gas station to heat up some leftovers. Then we went to the post office so that I could pick up a package from our P.O. box. I ordered a chest of head mounts so that I could get cool POV shots like this. We then went to find a spot so that we could sit and eat our lunch together. After eating, Kayla dropped me off at my job since it was closer. We both got off at 7 p.m. tonight, so Kayla picked me up and we headed to Walmart to get some things for dinner. We decided we wanted some steak, grilled onions, and potatoes. We got to the park and started to unpack everything to begin cooking. One of the things that I miss and definitely took for granted in our apartment was obviously the convenience of cooking and everything else, but it's the ability to get home from work and just sit on our couch for a bit just to relax. We're constantly on the move for every single task that we have for the day, and we don't get to relax until we get in the car for bed. Kayla absolutely killed it on the steaks, and we decided to just watch some YouTube while we ate our food. Once we were done, I did some dishes, and then we packed up the car so we could head to the gym. A lot of you ask about how we shower, so we have a gym membership that is open 24/7, so it makes it really easy for us to get a workout in, then shower before bed. Once we finished, we headed to a park that we're going to stay at tonight. We were so happy to see that it was 60 degrees out tonight because we have had a lot of hot nights in the car. We went through our nightly routine that usually takes less than 10 minutes. I tried using my new head mount for cool POV shots, but of course my phone was out of focus. We put up our window covers and then moved our bags from the trunk to the passenger seat. Then we were finally able to get in the car and get some rest. That's a typical day of what it's like to live in our car. Are we homeless or are we living rent-free? You tell me.
Surprisingly, the worst thing about living in your car and having to deal with is the temperature. That took me by surprise. In winter, it gets too fucking cold. You roll windows up, it gets too humid. And obviously, it's fucking summer right now. Bro, you can see me sweating at the moment. I wasn't this red 10 minutes ago. It is hot as shit out, dude. You're just constantly fucking sticky and sweaty. Shit's gross. It's like, yeah, there's like a lack of room. You don't have room for any of your shit. You can't stretch out, but it's like, bro, the heat's the worst part. If you are ever in the boat of having to live in your car, like, you need to be mentally prepared of just being fucking miserable from the temperature.
I've been living out of my car for a couple months, and here are 5 things that I would not forget if you decide to take this lifestyle. Now, chances are, if you're living in your car, it's not by choice. So make sure you're following, because if you end up homeless, at least you can watch these videos and it'll help you out. Coming in at number 1 is definitely a strong mindset. There are going to be days where you just don't want to do anything. And without a strong mindset, honestly, I probably would just like give up and just go back to what's comfortable, you know? Number 2, you definitely want to download iOverlander. The number one annoying thing about car camping, van life, is that you always have to find a place to park. iOverlander it's literally an app. You can see spots, see reviews, set spots, make your own reviews, and it's a whole community. This lifestyle's kind of lonely, so having that little sense of community, you got other people that also are in the same situation, kind of leave spots for you to stay at. It's just very nice. Without it, I would just be lost. Coming in at number 3 is a power source, especially with like my job. I kind of need power. My MacBook dies like every 3 seconds. I bought a power source from Best Buy and it's just worked wonders. And it also powers the fan too when I want to give the car a break. Number 4, source of income. Now, my source of income, I own a real estate media agency, and it's been really great for me. But obviously when real estate gets tight, having something else, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, anything to get you by when you just need some gas money or some food, definitely helps out a lot. And sitting at number 5 is definitely a weapon of choice. I've been approached by so many strangers here, just car camping. It's insane. Anyways, follow me.
Today makes it 382 days of me living my car, and honestly, I'm getting tired of it. I wish I could have my own bed, my own space, my own bathroom. I wish I could walk to the bathroom, shower. I wish I could cook a hot, nice meal. Tired of living in my car.
Spent New Year's Eve homeless in my car for the first day. This how I went. So instantly when I woke up, I had to crank on that heat, man. It got cold, and throw on my coat. I was a little cautious taking down my window covers because I wasn't sure if there was going to be somebody with a Corona on the other side of my window just staring at me. Given how hard they was partying last night, man, Mexican people really know how to party. I thought it was 4th of July. They was letting off so much fireworks until like 3 o'clock in the morning. But definitely it got cold in the morning. Last night was pretty warm though. I think I was just a bit paranoid because I had never slept in my car until this day.
Happy New Year's! Let's go, man! You get into the bag, let's do it.
This is the spot I slept at last night. Perfect spot, even though I was paranoid. But that's my bathroom right there. This is the parking lot where they was partying, letting off shots. And I heard this big ass stump. I think it was that Corona bottle. But I gotta fill my tire up every day. I should probably change it, but I just be too lazy and don't want to spend money. So we headed to McDonald's, not to eat anything, to use the bathroom, to brush our teeth, You know what I mean? We gotta make sure our breath smell good. Of course, you know what I mean? Regardless if we homeless. And we gotta wash our hands. Y'all don't be washing your hands. That's the problem, you know? And then I just checked some emails. Normal stuff.